So I've gotten a few requests on my air horn setup in my Fiero, and it's a real simple setup. It's the electrical driven air horns, so there's no big compressor like normal air horns would have. These are rated 142 decibels, and I'd say they're about as loud, if not a little louder, than a tractor trailer horn. They're not a train horn, and they don't really advertise themselves to be that loud. But with a Fiero and a lot of cars, there's just not a whole lot of room for a tank, and I didn't want to take up trunk space, so I thought this was a good option. As you can see, this pair of horn, there's two trumpets, and I have them mounted right behind the radiator into the tub here. And then there's two compressors that power them. A lot of the horns with two trumpets only have one compressor, and I like this kit because it had two. So I ran the tubing that just goes from the compressors, that are about the size of Coke cans, like I said, and that goes through the tub and then up to the horns. I powered it using the stock horn wire. That's how I triggered the two relays. So what I did is, the 88s, like mine, only have one horn. So where that horn was, I pulled the wire up, and you can actually see it here if I come around. Down in there, if I get the lighting right, that's where I pigtailed off my original horn wire and took two wires to my two relays. So then that triggers the relay. Then I have a positive coming all the way from the battery to each of those, so that was a pretty long run. Most cars, the battery's up front, so that's not a problem, but with the Fiero, obviously it's in the back, so I had some pretty long runs with them underneath the car. And so they go into the two relays, and then there's one that goes from the relay to the compressor down here. So overall, it was a really easy setup to do. There wasn't really any knowledge that you need to know, and I really enjoy them. They say you're supposed to put a little bit of oil in these compressors every once in a while. I haven't yet, but I've had them for about since Christmas, I guess, so that's about 6 months, and they've been doing good for me. They're loud, like I said. They'll get you noticed. Don't really get you in trouble, I don't think, too much, unless you're doing some stupid things with them. But I've seen a couple other air horn setups, and all of them seem to be mounted in the same location on Fieros. I'm sure you could probably squeeze it in somewhere else, but this seems about the most logical to me, and like I said, I've seen a couple other people with air horns do the same thing.